What is up, Earth peeps and Moon peeps? I am just a simple Newtype, and in this episode we are strolling through Turn A Gundam. Last time, Lauren hid some nukes from the people. They found a tribe that knew of the dark history, and a rogue tribe member named Taruka tried to take control. This time the gang heads into space. Cancer and Mudan save Diana, and we meet the Gundam faction. So let's get into this. The Adescan girl from last episode is named Mayalito. She helps Joseph after he takes a ride on the Looney Tunes Express. He says, "Girl, Adeska isn't the only city in the world. You're not that special." The people of the tribe demand that Quaddle pick up a sword and fight Taruka. He refuses to pick up a sword, so they decide to chop off Lauren's head. Seems reasonable. Joseph comes in and explodes things while Mayalito breaks everyone free. Quaddle does a sweet leg kick. Did this Aztec-inspired homeboy train in Muay Thai? These forward-facing run animations always looked wonky. They capture Taruka. Mayalito tries to stab him, but Lauren stops her. He almost lost a hand. We learn that Quaddle refused to fight Taruka now and in the past because he sensed he wasn't ready, and he held the throne to wait for that day when he was. Quaddle is suddenly here. This scene is so jarring. Turns into an action scene, but the music forgot it was an action scene for 2 shots, and it now has to play catch-up. This is still better than the river scene in those Hobbit movies. Taruka stops his men from pursuing. Time for a Star Wars scene wipe. They spend an unnecessarily slow amount of time working with Quaddle and Mayalito to help them attack the Diana counter. Dog. Joseph and Ames from the Suicide Squad find cannons on the mountain cycle. They plant some bombs. Gwyn plans on using the Willgame's cannon to fire on the Diana counter, but Keyhill tries to stop him. They need access to the mass driver in the city to get to the moon. Gwyn is willing to sacrifice Lauren and the others. Sochi and the Suicide Squad move in. Watch out for those cannons! Miyashe biplanes it up and the Bull won. The bombs and the cannons go off. One final cannon remains, but Lauren and Quaddle are captured. One Diana counter soldier shoots Quaddle. Mayalito gives him a nice stabbing. The Adescan fires on the wad with arrows. Ha! That does nothing. The Adescans pull out a bigger arrow. Oh, that does something. Quaddle tells Lauren and Mayalito to get out of there. He will sacrifice himself, while also using this opportunity to let Taruka kill him for the sake of their weird tradition. He's dying from the gunshot wound anyways. Mayalito doesn't leave. Quaddle fires and blows up the remaining cannon with Quaddle and Mayalito. Lauren says that he will take the Tree of AIDS and spread it to the Zack Traeger. I don't care if that isn't how you pronounce AIDS. Harry goes searching for the Gendarme. Midgard tells Diana that they are heading towards space soon. Taruka wanted power but now questions if he is ready. The Adescan city has a mass driver and they sink it with the Zack Traeger. Everyone pulls an all-nighter to get this ready. Harry and his sumo approach the Gendarme. He releases his skirt and attacks just as they are about to launch. The Gendarme rises its megaparticle cannon and bails. Harry proclaims to cause great damage to Midgard. Miyashe tells Fran that she is putting on weight. While prepping the Willgame for takeoff, they are attacked by Poe and her team. They are still trying to sync with the Zack Traeger. Lauren heads out in the White Doll. One old man throws a bomb and takes out a Mutowu. Lauren says, "Check out my hammer," and throws it around. Miyashe tells everyone to get back to the ship. It's time for the Willgame to take off. Lauren is saved by Harry and his sumo. Harry tells Poe that she should choose better men to have in her life, and he and Lauren bail towards the Willgame. Their trajectory is messed up, so Mustache Gundam and Harry's sumo give the ship a little push. They keep pushing as they move into Zack Traeger's orbit. It is like threading a needle. Also, look at this early Gundam CGI. It leaves a lot to be desired. Did you know that Jacob and Bruno are piloting this ship? Crazy. The Gendarme is also docked here as well. Harry teaches the militia how to use a spacesuit. He tells the militia that they are now in Moonpeep territory. Keyhill will have to become Diana once again. Harry is doing all of this to save the real Diana in Meme's possession. Miyashe is tripping hard over these spacesuits. Meme sends out Wodoms to attack. Sochi and Lauren head out to look for a control center. Fran tells Keyhill, "I know your little secret." Keyhill says, "I am Deanna," but Diana says, "I am Deanna." Even I don't know which one's which. The Gendarme takes off with no one getting hurt. It was a psych-out battle. 5 minutes of tension just to end with no fighting. The militia commander is struggling to float in space. Others are also struggling to conform to space life. You get a little Heim family butt shot in this episode. They take a shower. Nice, back to the mundane everyday things. The girls clog the drain with their hair, which causes humidity that essentially waterboards you in space. Lauren comes in to save the day, but he gets a peek of that butt. The militia boys break a sake barrel, so they use their mouths to clean it up. They're all now drunk. You get drunk faster in space, apparently. Midgar is working with Jim Gingham, and he wants him to hand over Diana. They will also destroy the Willgame. Mudan and Cancer Kafka overhear this, and they want to get the queen to safety. Mudan distracts while Cancer does a quadruple backflip. She steals a shuttle. Meme lets them leave, not realizing they took Diana. Lauren still has the nukes and wonders what he should do with them. The ship gets a transmission from Diana. We get it, you have perfect hair. Diana wants Cancer and Mudan to take her to a satellite called Mistletoe. My god, Mistletoe looks so bad. Could someone really not take the time to draw a rock? Oh well, time for some acro yoga. They dock with the satellite. Diana wants Mudan and Cancer to head back to Earth, where they could create the next generation of moon peeps that can blend in with the Terrans. Mistletoe is an abandoned agricultural satellite, though it seems to be automated more so than abandoned. Jim is informed and makes his way towards Mistletoe. Captain Swetson Sutero and his Mahito squad watch over Meme. The G-838 Mahito is a standard mobile suit used by the Gingham fleet. This mobile suit uses a drive system, which some speculate originated from the mobile trace system from Future Century. It doesn't fly all too well in atmospheres. The head is a giant sensor array. It is so giant that it reduces the arm's range of movement, although predominantly used in close combat situations. All evidence suggests this was originally used for long range. Weapons include an arm blade, the toroidal shield integrated into a megaparticle cannon on the shoulder, the Rindo light missiles, and a small handgun. This was created by mechanical designer Mahito Maeda. Bro just straight up named the mobile suit after himself. Also, this was my favorite in Gundam Evolution. Rest in peace. Mudan and Cancer want to stay by Diana's side, and they say so in the most dramatic way possible. She lets them stay. Sochi says to Lauren, "Why do our spacesuits look like beekeepers?" Kihil and Harry are falling for one another. Harry then decides to betray her, though it is clearly motivated by other reasons. Time for a good old punch in the gut so hard it makes you pass out cliché. Harry flees with Kihil in his sumo. He tells the Mahito fleet that he rescued the queen from the enemies. Diana thanks Cancer and her ancestors for their help in the past. Remember, the Kafka family and many others came from the moon centuries ago with Diana, but the queen went into cryo. One of Swetson's men enter Mistletoe, so Cancer starts throwing fists. She gets into the guy's Mahito and she starts throwing fists in her mobile suit. Lauren and Sochi run into Diana, Cancer, and Mudan. Cancer says that Mustache Gundam was once considered a white devil for a reason and not to trust it. All the budget to this anime went into the shots of the Mahitos exploding. Then soon after we get this shot where the camera zooms in way too much and it reminds you why anti-aliasing became a thing. Kihil demands Harry to say she loves him. He eventually does say it, though he mentions Diana a couple times in the process. Miyashe launches in a wad to open the gates at Mistletoe. Harry presents the queen to Jim. Kihil begins playing the role of Diana, as though she lived through the generational struggles of this moonrace elite, and Jim seems to buy it, though he makes it apparent that he would totally invade Earth if it wasn't for her. Kihil says to Harry, "Bitch, if I die pretending to be your queen, you better hold me." The Mahito team begins Operation E Minor, in which they are to destroy Mistletoe and the militia fleet. The guy that Cancer punched earlier is taken prisoner by Miyashe. He steals a gun and tries to kill himself, but the militia stops him. Swetson says, "Alright boys, let's wreck this place." Jim sets up a trap for the Willgame. The gang blasts out of the bulkhead door. Oh, you can tell where they put money in this show. They flee before it explodes. The Willgame did not make it out, and Lauren can't contact them. Jim is bloodthirsty and happy he was able to send in his men to blow it up. This shows how bloodthirsty this villain truly is. But it's kinda hard to take him seriously when he's drinking out of a sippy cup. Kihil wonders if her pretending to be Diana has gone too far. She, for all intents and purposes, is Diana, and making the decisions of a queen. She certainly feels the weight of those decisions. And that will do it for this episode. It was mentioned in this episode by Sochi that Kihil and Diana are the same person. Story-wise, at this point, this is true, as both serve the same purpose. Their personal identity comes in the form of love, as Kihil is willing to die pretending to be Diana, but only if Harry is willing to confess his love. Next time, we begin the last core of Turn A. The Willgame's fine. You thought they were gonna kill off all those characters? Get out of here. And Lauren finally finds a use for those nukes he is still carrying. But that will do it for now, moon peeps. Remember, don't zoom in too far on cell animation. Peace.